Hey, how's it going, guys? Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of The Real Deal. As you guys can see, I changed the background a bit. So this week we're talking about don't be afraid of rejection. Now, it's going to be, of course, talking about loan-specific stuff. So one of the number one reasons that clients, including myself, when I was a client or a consumer many years ago when I was buying my house, was that being afraid of rejection. Especially if you know the person that you're applying with, which most of you guys do, obviously know me. You don't want anybody digging into your financials, looking at how much money you make, looking at what your credit score is. You're gonna try to prepare as much as you can. You're gonna try to get as ready as you can, and then you're gonna submit your application. That is like the most of the time that is what people do. I did that. So before I was a real estate agent, Nils' brother obviously owns a company I work for, and Nils and I were wanting to buy our house. So AZ and Carla would tell me just apply, and I was like, no, I'm doing my research, Google searching what I should do to increase my credit score because I knew my credit score needed some work. So then, I was just embarrassed of him finding out what my credit was like. And Nilza had phenomenal credit. She had like a 700 plus credit score. Just procrastinated. Fortunately, it didn't take me too long. Maybe after like 3 or 4 months, I said, you know what, fine. I remember I used to work at Progressive at the time. I was hanging out outside in the picnic benches that they had outside, and I was having the call. I was talking to the lender at the time that was partnered up with the brokerage, and he took my application and he told me what my credit score was. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. The apps that we use don't always tell the truth. There's always different types of rating factors that lenders use. So when everything was said and done, we had like a 2-month plan to get my credit where I needed it to be to qualify for the program that we were using at the time to purchase our home. And I know that feeling, that gut wrenching feeling of putting yourself out there and being afraid to get rejected and somebody finding out your personal information and your finances and that kind of stuff. And I know it's a tough hurdle to get over, but that is the only way to get yourself ready and prepared to get into the process of purchasing a house. That applies the same when like you're selling. You're thinking about selling a house, and then you're just like scared of what the numbers are going to be and what you could potentially walk away with, and having like this stranger in your house. At the end of the day, you got to get the numbers. You got to get the information so that way you can get a game plan started. There's a lot of different reasons why that could be, and I have a lot of different stories on where this wasn't the case. Like I had a client once where he wanted to buy. He messaged me. He finally just said, hey, yeah, I've been thinking about buying, but I don't have a ton of job history, right? So that's a big one. You don't think you have the job history because either you switched jobs, you just moved into the state, you just got a new position. That doesn't matter. There's ways to get that calculated, and there's ways to complete your 2-year job history. I had another client recently. We had a buyer consultation. He's just switching his type of employment, where now he's going to get paid on a per job basis or per mile basis. We were able to, he thought he was going to have to wait like another 2 years, and that's not the case. We can wait as little as a year. So there's a lot of different reasons where jobs might prevent you from, switching jobs, and you think, oh, now I got to wait 2 years to apply. That's not the case. You want to make sure that you get your answers ahead of time. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting around waiting. Prices are just going to keep going up, and interest rates are going to go up. So, this is definitely something that you want to get ahead of the ball on. The other one, obviously, is credit. That's the big one. Credit is the number one reason why most people won't submit the application, because they keep looking at the Credit Karma. They keep thinking that it's going to magically increase your credit score by waiting, and that's not going to be the case. You have to put some effort into it. There's different things that you can do to try to increase your credit score. But at the end of the day, you need to have a starting point. The lenders that I work with will give you credit recommendations to get your score where you need it to be, either with your down payment or with down payment assistance. Regardless, we'll come up with a game plan. I've had clients that had to wait 2 years. I've had clients that had to wait 2 days. It just depends. Every situation is different. Just once again, the only way to find that out is submitting your application. And then the other one is down payment. So most people will save and save and save and save till they have what they think is enough for a down payment based off of what Google says, right? So they'll save their 3.5% down, not knowing that there's still additional costs that can potentially be involved with a transaction, especially in this market. A lot of sellers are hesitant to pay closing costs because they have a lot of offers and there's a lot of activity. So down payment is a big one, right? With rates as low as they are right now, use the down payment programs that are available if you qualify. There's obviously restrictions to qualify for those programs, but whatever amount you think you have saved up right now, still apply to find out where you're at. See if these programs will work for you. Get the answers. Don't go off of Google. Don't go off of friends and family. Things change. The programs that's another thing that comes up every time I talk to somebody. They say, "Oh, the government sponsored program, the first time home buyer program." All the down payment assistance programs that I use with my clients don't require you to be a first-time home buyer. So this applies if you had a house in 2008, 2007, when unfortunately you had a short sale, foreclosed, bankrupt. That doesn't matter. You can still take advantage of these down payment programs to help you out with your down payment. There's no need to save 10, 15, 20 grand. So get with me, give me a call, shoot me a message, drop me a DM. We'll get together. We'll set up a game plan. Stop waiting. Don't be afraid of that rejection, because you got to get your answers now to set up a game plan before you think you're ready and then you're really not ready and you have to wait another 6 months or another year. You could be ready to buy today. Alrighty, guys. Hopefully, if this helps you guys out, if you know anybody that's been thinking about buying or selling, please send them this video. Let them know, hey, don't be afraid of rejection. All right, guys. Thank you much and have a great Thursday.